What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, I found something to be not even shocking, but it's just funny to me how people see certain things and then they just go silent, And I wanted to address some things that was said in other videos that I had conversation with people and even some people that have made comments on my channel to try to defend a certain fighter, certain fighters. Now, let me just say this. Do you guys remember about a month ago Tyson Fury did an interview? He said he don't want to talk about Anthony Joshua. Don't ask him about Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. He's done with them. You will never hear me talk about them again. They missed their chance. And, you know, that's their bad. You know, they missed out. Right? He said that. I mind my business. I don't talk about any other fighters. The guy just sat here the other day with this weird looking suit with the skulls all over it and all that. And what is he talking about? Anthony Joshua. As he always does. Say one thing and then do something completely different. I guess it's better to be known as being bipolar than a hypocrite, right? I'm not in control of what I do. I have a disorder. The guy says all these crazy things. Frank Warren's no different. Frank Warren bashed Eddie Herman Matchroom for certain cards they put on, called the cards awful and everything. Right? Now, I did agree with him saying the big fights should be for pay per view. And I always said that's what they should do. Like when you hear me talking about they should have like these mandatory tournaments, mandatory, title eliminators. And that the pay per view should just be all for the mega fights, the big fights. So I did agree with him on that. But he has the nerve to turn around and they're actually selling this as a pay per view between Derek Chisora and Tyson Fury. And when these guys talk about how they love their fans and they're going to try to make as much money as they can, I get it. But I'm just saying, I mean, really? If anybody is stupid enough to pay for this fight, that's on them. And at the end of the day, just saying, you see how people are hypocrites. 1 minute, you're bashing people, saying that this is awful. If Anthony Joshua was fighting Derek Chisora on pay per view, okay, even if Anthony Joshua beat Usyk, if he beat him even both times, but he decided he's going to fight Derek Chisora, do you think Frank Warren would be praising this fight? Okay. He says he doesn't stick his nose in anybody else's business, Tyson Fury, I mean. And how he doesn't talk about any other fighters. He's not worried about any other fights. He's only focused on Derek Chisora, right? But then now he's talking about he wants Usyk, right? If Usyk don't want it, then I want Joe Joyce. Didn't you just tell Joe Joyce? Did you or did you not, about a month ago, tell Joe Joyce he has to get his profile up? It's not his time yet. Now, all of a sudden, if he doesn't get Usyk, if Usyk doesn't want it, then he wants Joyce. And Tyson Fury is the kind of person, a lot of you can sit here, oh, that's just Fury being Fury. He's just, oh, yeah. I honestly, the sound of his voice is like, I just want to change the video. I don't even want to watch. And actually, I sat there and I just said, okay. After a while, I just turned off. I really just didn't even care about what else he had to say. But pretty much he said much of nothing. He said how listen, for him to say he fought Derek Chisora twice and he promised him that he'd fight him again, and now he's world champion and he ends up, this is his story with Derek Chisora. Okay. Well, did you have any promises with Manuel Char as well? Did you have anything you owed him all of a sudden? And I told you, this is just him fighting his buddy, easy money. He's looking past him because he knows he's no real work. And he can sit here and praise him all he wants to try to cover up for the fact that he picked the guy that basically was, well, people will settle for this over Manuel Char. Me personally, I'm not settling for any of it because I refuse to actually watch the fight. Now, I may watch the replay, depending. You know what? Um, I'm not interested in this fight. I may watch the replay, but I'm damn sure I'm not going to go out my way to go sit and watch this fight. I don't care about it. And really, depending on what happens, will determine if I make a video about it. Depending on what happens. Like, if Derek Chisora get lucky and knock his ass out, oh, I'm going to laugh my ass off from the video. I'll probably just make a 35-second video of me just laughing, and that's it, and pointing. But anyway, yeah, we need things to shake up. And, yeah, I mean, Fury doing the same antics again. I don't talk about any other fighter but myself. I'm not putting my nose in nobody else's business. Only fighter I'm concerned about is Derek Chisora. But now you're talking about Anthony Joshua. You're talking about Usyk. You're talking about Joyce. And all you're doing is just responding to people. You know that these are the fights that people want to see. And that's all he's doing. He also, a couple of weeks ago, did an interview, and he's saying the Anthony Joshua fight must fight. It has to happen. He won't feel right if he retires without fighting AJ. You are the one that can't make up your goddamn mind whether you want to fight Anthony Joshua or not. I mean, so it's just like when I hear him talk, I'm like, all right, okay. Adrian Broner is still making videos talking about Floyd Mayweather. Still talking about the PBC. You know, him and Terrence Crawford came out, made comments about fighting for this under this new company, this startup company, Black Prime. Have you heard any noise about this company at all? Have you heard anybody even talking? There's no conversation about Terrence Crawford's next fight. There's no conversation about Adrian Broner fighting anyone. All I saw was Adrian Broner with a big goofy smile on his face talking about he about to make this money. Okay, and the same thing with Terrence Crawford. He mentioned his fight with Avanesian, but then at the same time, what I say, see, a lot of dumb, smart people love to be hurt. You don't hear any press about this fight. You don't hear anything about Adrian Broner. Yet, Terrence Crawford was seen as the poster boy for this startup company, right? Well, my thing is, if you are a part of something that you want to be big, and you know that you need to promote them, they need to promote you. If I'm a part of it, all that dumb crap about, oh, that's what he has a promoter for, you know, so they can go and do this for him. That's what he pay people for. Yeah, dummy. How's that working out for him? You got to learn how to take things into your own hand. So either way, to me, it just sounds like, you know what, as long as the money, they're cool. I just want the paycheck. Nobody's talking about no goddamn Black Prime. And it's funny because he's still making videos talking about what happened between him and Spence. So it goes to show you, you know that this fight with Avanesian means nothing. Nobody cares about it. People can say what they want about Jermell Charlo. How the fuck is Jermell Charlo ducking somebody that's not even in his division? The fact that Terrence Crawford is calling Jermell Charlo name and Charlo went off and told him, man, you ain't did shit at 147. He's like, man, you ain't shit to me. Your Bob Arum don't even care about you. He told you to your face he don't even care about you. You can't you ain't even fight Errol Spence. You calling my name. Stop trying to, clout chase, trying to build your profile off me. You're not even at 154. And you over here telling you, like, go fight Errol Spence. Take less money. You think you bigger than what you are, but you're not no star. Take less money. Fight Errol Spence. You beat him, then you that guy, right? But I agree wholeheartedly with what Jermell Charlo was saying. I like Terrence Crawford as a fighter. But you can't go by what you did at 140. And at 147, aside from beating Sean Porter, which, I give Sean his props as he's a good fighter. But Sean Porter, I mean, to be honest with you, man, like, he beat him, okay, cool. You beat a beaten, broken Amir Khan. You beat a broken and beaten Kell Brook. You really don't have much going on at 147. That's impressive on his resume. So how the hell do you not fight Errol Spence? Right? How do you not fight this guy, but end up talking about fighting Jermell Charlo? Like, okay, I was undisputed at 140. I got a belt at 147. Now, he can't fight who don't want to fight him, but we can't, you don't know. It could be just a two-way street because we've been hearing so much about it's his fault that the fight didn't happen. Then you hearing, it's like mixed emotions. I don't care about all of whose side you on nonsense. I'm like, look, just calling somebody's name doesn't warrant you a fight with them. No different from, me talking about, Michaela Mayer. You lost a close fight to Baumgartner, and then to think that you just going to walk up to 135 and call out Katie Taylor, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, fight's done. Like, no, you need to go step up, fight Amanda Serrano, fight somebody of that quality first, that caliber. You get past them, why not? Why not? But just to, I was unified at 130. I think that I beat Baumgartner, and I think I deserve a fight with Katie Taylor. No, it's not how that works. It's not how that works. So, to say that, Jamel is ducking. How the fuck are you ducking? He's undisputed champion at 154, and he's ducking someone that's not even in his division. That's just calling names out. Terrence Crawford put himself in a lousy position. And people may not want to admit this, but he's too fucking old to be trying to start from scratch. So all of this making him the poster boy of your startup company, but nobody even knows who the fuck you are as a company. And even though he was 140, undisputed, has a title now at 147, he's still not amongst the most popular fighters. He's still a big unknown. He still can't fill out an arena. He still can't do that. So, just looking at that, now, I was laughing at something that, just sitting there listening to Dillian Whyte talk. Dillian Whyte's a weirdo, man. He's always been a weirdo to me. He just talks a lot of shit about nothing. And I can tell that when he's sitting there, he just make up shit in his head. I mean, he had the nerve to sit here and say that Anthony Joshua was a drug dealer and all this stuff he was saying about him. Like, Anthony Joshua admitted to things he was doing. He was doing things he shouldn't. He was going on the wrong path, and he found boxing and turned his life around from that. And you wanted to hold on to that. The funny thing about Dylan is, like, he thinks he's a comedian. He just says a whole lot of shit. Like, I watched him sit there talking to Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin said nothing about the hood, nothing about being no thug or nothing. To me, it just sounded like some stereotypical shit that was coming out of Dylan's mouth. He made a comment about, these Americans come over here talking this and talking that. Well, at least the Americans come over there, Dylan. Because your American debut was supposed to be against the same Franklin that you claim is not on your level, which is why I say, well, if he's not on your level, why would you want to fight him? And before anybody says, oh, but he was fighting all the top guys, remember, I was the one that was saying, yeah, Dylan has the second best resume in the heavyweights next to AJ. But at the same time, Dylan, when you say all this shit about, making up, oh, you talk about you from the hood, only hood you from is only hood you know of is Little Red Riding Hood. Corny ass joke, and I'm like, he just wanted to get that joke off, so he's sitting here making up shit that Jermaine Franklin never fucking even said. And so he's just talking. And I thought, where was all this energy? All this, if I was trying to tell you go outside and all this, don't talk shit, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Yo, you're going to hear my people. Trust me, you're going to hear my people. Then I said, you know what? This is one of the reasons why people don't like Dillian Whyte ass. First of all, let's just be real. You got knocked the fuck out by AJ. Then you had a nice string of wins. And, I'm not going to say so much you like a different fighter, but, you was winning. You was doing your thing. Then you get knocked the fuck out by Povetkin. You come back and you win the rematch. It doesn't take away what happened in the first fight. You had a lot to say about Anthony Joshua losing to, Andy Ruiz. But you lost to Povetkin. You get the win, you come back, you talking. You go into this shit with Tyson Fury, and then you go completely silent. Finally, get your way. You went back and forth with them with court and all this, and trying to get, your just due, trying to get the $8 million. Great. But you did all that, and the funny thing is, you had nothing to say. And then you went there and got slapped around, could barely land a punch. I don't even remember landing any punches. And then you got knocked the fuck out. as usual, one punch, uppercut. But you're talking like you never lost. And I'm listening to him, and it's like, how tough do you have to be to fight a cherry pick? You obviously feel comfortable, like, I'll beat him, yeah. What made me laugh too was he's saying, I thought about Dante's Boxing Nation, 7-8 Sports, Fanon, all these people that was like, fuck them Brits, right? Never heard me. I don't get caught up in that kind of shit. I don't deal with the racial shit. Like, I don't partake in it, put it like that. But I remember hearing all them say all this shit. And they said, these motherfuckers, Dylan Whyte don't think he's black. He think he better than what we are, and all this stuff is happening. I'm just like trying to understand where all this is coming from. And then it's like when he's saying, you gonna hear my people, bro. Trust me, bro. See, my family is mixed, and I was never taught to turn my nose up at anybody. So, people are people to me. Now, when I see black people, I don't separate you because you Jamaican or African or Guyanese or whatever, or Haitian or, whatever. I mean, I just see black people. If you get pulled over by a cop, Dylan, let me just be real. Because he made the comment, trust me, bro, you going to hear my people. Like, what the fuck does that mean? We've also heard fucking crowds go completely silent when the hometown heroes getting their ass whooped. Now, don't know what's going to happen. Really don't care. But I'm listening to him, and it's like, he sound like a little racist motherfucker making those comments. You know what people would say? Oh, he's just trying to sell the fight. Well, if him saying, yo, trust me, bro, you gonna hit my people. You only say my, okay, when you're separating. If I say my people, I'm talking about people in my circle. Now, if I say my people referencing my black people, okay, it would be known how I'm saying it. So how do you try to change the way Dylan said it? Because people was very vocal about, was it Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Bernard Hopkins making the same comment? I never let a white boy beat me. Didn't they just say that Anthony Durrell has said that too, right? Oh, racist, 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 racist. And I'm like, okay. You just make Dante, 7-8 Sports, and all of them, you just prove them right by making a stupid-ass comment like that. Who cares about hearing your people? They can't save you in a fucking ring. Now, whether you win, lose, or draw, whatever happens, happens. But him saying that, I'm just like, damn, listen to this motherfucker. Listen to this motherfucker. Like, the shit that he says, it's funny when you try to act real tough. I remember like Floyd Mayweather was just doing a press conference or a post conference. That was the press conference before the event. And this Japanese guy starts talking, and he's talking like just trying to interrupt the interview and being disrespectful. And Floyd said, yeah, I know. It's cool. See, he's tough because we're in Japan. He said, but we're tough all over the world. When fucking Derek Chisora hauled that chair at Dylan, this fucking guy acts like a maniac, and he's acting the way Derek was acting without hauling the chair. So what was going to happen if you invite him outside? Were you going to get him jumped? What, you going to throw a punch before the fight? This is why I say with these fucking fighters, it ain't about calling their bluff. I wish I could put what I have in me in some of these motherfuckers. I'm like, man, you ain't going to do shit. Shut your bitch ass up. Believe me. And let's go outside. Trust me. Eddie Hearn, they ain't have enough people in that room to hold me the fuck back. Ain't gonna be no one motherfucker hold his arm across my chest and no. Because you want to go, let's go. I don't care where we at. So what was you going to do? That's why, like I said, it was a cowardly move. What Wilder and his team did to Dominic Brazil, same thing. You talk tough and you got goons around you. You got a bunch of little street thugs around you. So what was supposed to happen if you invited Jermaine Franklin outside? What was supposed to happen? So I'm just like, man, this is some goofy shit. But listen at what comes out of these people's mouths. Is it any different? Even like, I didn't understand what Savannah Marshall said. She should be making this about race. And I'm like, did I miss something? Oh, because she said Savannah Marshall want to be me. She want to be black. Oh, that's racist. Is it racist when you keep talking about the size of a woman's ass, or talk about their nose, or certain body parts, as if like, yeah, black women known to have big asses, or they got big nose, which she's got a tiny little nose. I don't even know where that came from, but she got a small ass nose. Okay, but just saying, all the shit that was being said, that wasn't being taken as racism. It's like you poke the bear, nobody see that. But when the bear lashes back, oh, look how vicious he is, right? And I'm like, okay, a lot of dumb shit come out of people's mouths and they repeat things that other people say. But when Savannah said that, I'm like, is she trying to say this shit because they're fighting in the UK? And she's trying to make comments to like turn people even more against Shields, because they're not on Shields' side as it is. They are, of course, they want Savannah to win. Nobody's fucking stupid. Okay, but when I hear this shit, it's funny. Like, example, everybody that I named that was called racist is a black American. Everybody else who said racist shit or did some stupid shit, nobody said anything. Example, even for people that was bringing up Devin Haney, making the comment, about I never let a white boy beat me. You know what y'all never say though, too? Y'all never fucking talk about how Bill Haney was the black American that came to Eddie Hearn's defense. When Leonard Ellaby said, if I see him, if he comes within 10 feet of me, I'll smack the shit out of him. What'd he say? Nigga, you are disrespectful and out of pocket. I've never heard my friend from across the pond make any racial slurs or any of that, whatever. And anybody I'm getting money with, you talk about doing something to them, you got a problem with me. I didn't hear anybody bringing that shit up. Devin Haney sat there on the show with Paulie Malignaggi and reminded him, yeah, he flipped out about something or whatever, and he was the one that, it's not worth it, man. It's like, talk to him out of trying to do some dumb shit or whatever. But see, this is what I'm talking about. And I'm listening like, wow. So my thing was this, right? Even like with Dylan, I don't look at somebody's skin color to say what I feel. But to me, he's a fucking sucker. When people matched him up against Deontay Wilder, I said the same thing that I meant, and I stand on it. I don't know that he beats Wilder. I don't know that Wilder beats him. Dylan can punch. Wilder can punch with the right hand. It depends on who can avoid getting hit flush, I guess, because at the end of the day, Dylan's known to be extremely careless. Wilder's very patient. And if you get caught slipping, Wilder can make you pay for that shit. But at the same time, it's like, I could have, fuck that. I'm going with my countrymen. Bruh. I don't know these people. But I'm listening to Dylan. I'm like, yeah, Dylan's an asshole. Let's just be real. Now people are talking about that like this motherfucker, bitch ass. Nah, it's not going to make me change my stance on how I do things. But yeah, he's an asshole. And I'm just looking at Dylan like, he's a fucking idiot. Anytime someone look, let me tell you something. You go fight in anybody's country and pretty much they're going to get louder cheers than you because you're not the hometown guy. When people come to America and they fly a bunch of people over from their hometown, from their country, this is what people overlook. That's what happens. This is where all these cheers are coming. You think there's a bunch of Americans in there waving the Filipino flag or waving the Mexican flag or whatever, or the British flag? No. So it appears that, they got more fans in America. No, motherfucker, they flew people over here. Don't get it twisted. Now, the one exception to that rule may be Manny Pacquiao, because a lot of people just like Manny Pacquiao. But I never make things about a person's country. But I do understand why some people get that to the point of, man, fuck them. Why? Because it's like if they was in their country and they fans are saying racist shit and doing racist shit, not the fact that I'm cheering for them, but just doing a bunch of unnecessary shit. These fucking fighters don't care about that. Whatever makes you uncomfortable makes the fight easier for them, and that's what they bank on. But I just thought, that was some sucker shit that Dylan did. But again, even him saying that, you gonna hear my people, trust me, boy, you gonna hear my people. You don't ever have to worry about Dylan Whyte saying he'll never let a white boy beat him because two of them already knocked his ass the fuck out. But I just felt like, him saying that shit was some weak shit. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck on a personal note. Fuck Dylan. Simple. But here's the deal. Dylan Whyte, if you ever got pulled over by a fucking racist ass cops, okay? To them, you just a nigga with a different accent. So it's obvious you don't travel. You don't know shit about the rest of the world. All you know is life in the fucking UK or wherever you go where you feel comfortable around people that you know. But see, you don't have the fucking, you couldn't come out here and walk down any street you wanted. We live here and can't even do that shit comfortably. It's consequences for a lot of shit, right? But you like talking from the comfort of your own country. And that's just some coward shit to me. It's one thing, you the hometown guy, the fans is cheering, but when you try to incorporate that shit into interviews and to a face-off and try to make it seem like something gonna happen, ain't shit gonna happen to Jermaine Franklin. What the fuck you gonna do? He got two hands just like you. If I try to intimidate you, well, trust me, I'll invite you outside. That's it. And then what's gonna happen? Like, I'm like, listen, then all my people. So to say that is obvious. You don't look at black people like we all black people, right? Obvious. All right, because that term is our people. So when you say my people, yeah, there's a separation there. That's cool. But just understand, I don't know Jermaine Franklin personally, but you certainly ain't no fucking tough guy either. And even just to say that cowardly shit, that was like, I'm like, listen at this motherfucker. And yeah, let me say it again. You get pulled over by some racist fucking cops, you just a different type of nigga. That's all. You a nigga with a different accent. So the shit that we deal with in America, you don't have a clue about that shit. And you should really shut the fuck up when you talk about your people, because when you fought Fury, you was not the favorite either. Trust on that. Trust on that. And we could see and watch the fucking fight over and over. You clearly wasn't the fucking favorite. And when he starched you and knocked you the fuck out with one punch in the 6th round, it's funny how you had nothing to say. But anytime AJ lost, when Fury beat Wilder, you always had something to say about it. You have laughing, giggling. All you managed to do was make a goofy ass video driving a car, looked at the camera and smiled. You know why you ain't talk? Because you got beat the fuck up and you had nothing to say. What could you say? So now you in a position of, damn. When Povetkin starts you, I was winning the fight. The one time I do it all right in the training, but then the one time when it counts, I trust me, I know what I could do. I know just what the thing, man, because I know it. Yeah, he knocked you the fuck out. That's all. Simple. Simple. Nobody's going to support an asshole. So the fact that you separated yourself from another black man and say, trust me, you're going to hear my people. Like, that's all cool. Just understand, you've yet to bring your punk ass to America to fight anybody. And should you ever come here to fight somebody worthy, like, don't trust me on this, right? Jared Anderson is up and coming, right? If Jared Anderson, y'all get the heart to fight him, come to America and fight him. Come out your comfort zone. Like you had a lot to say about Anthony Joshua. You talk about how, yeah, you plan on traveling and going to America and all that. You've yet to do it. And in fact, no matter where you fight, you want to be comfortable in the UK, cool. Fight Daniel Dubois. Right? Also, right. Don't come with this whole, I've been fighting all the tough fights and yeah, you finally got what you asked for and you failed. Miserably. So now, like I said, I don't hold shit back from nobody. But that's a guy. Yeah, he's an American too. Jared Anderson is different. Jermaine Franklin understands, man, you ain't gonna do shit. He's standing his grounds, but nah, you talk a lot of stupid shit, man. And to be a grown ass 30-something-year-old fucking man and you in here fucking, just saying a bunch of shit that don't mean nothing. This is where people won't like another individual, not based on what they do in the ring, but what they say, their actions. It's all good though. None of that shit bothers me personally. But yeah, Dylan's a fucking sucker. Real shit. Real shit. You're a fucking sucker. And the fact that you sit there talking all arrogant like you some undefeated fighter. And every time you lose, somehow the opponent just got lucky. Notice how he can't say shit about Tyson Fury, right? But he talk about all the other fights he had, but he don't mention the Fury fight. Because what can he say other than you got knocked the fuck out after you talked all that shit? All Jermaine Franklin got to do is land an uppercut. Your ass going to sleep, like always. That's all you got to do. That's all. Anyway, people, I'm about to bring this video to an end. Just wanted to get this out. And, like I always tell you guys, I like to keep it boxing. I like to focus on the fights, what's going on in the ring. I got nothing but love for people, for human beings, period. But when you're an ass, you're an ass. And I've always gotten love from the UK, and I give it right back, and wherever. But when you're an asshole, you're an asshole. You can be proud of where you're from and all that. I don't care about that. But when you use that as a way of trying to, like in an arrogant way, and in a racist type way of, a lot of people won't say that, and they'll dance around that shit. But like I said, where's all the questions about what came out of his mouth, right? But quick when somebody say, "I never let a white boy beat me," I don't support no racist comments. But it's funny. It seems like that's the only thing somebody can say. Oh, then they got mad at Adrian Broner for saying anybody can get it. American, African, Mexican. I mean, what made that comment sound really stupid was because the dude gets his ass whooped and then he acts like he just won. So y'all know, I don't hold nothing back on nobody. And I don't, he American, I can't say that. No, I say what the fuck I want about anybody. And I'll say it to your fucking face. I can fight too. And so, just saying, that shit that came out of his mouth, I'm like, yeah, Dylan's annoying as fuck. He's known for saying stupid shit. But it's funny, like, I think he has mental issues too. And them stupid faces he be making, he always look like he's hungry. Like he's fucking hungry and dry mouthed and shit. He's always just talking. And he laughed at the fucking shit that Jermaine had on. I'm like, motherfucker, did you see the way you dress? Like, you some fucking poster boy for fashion. And also, too, like I addressed the person, I don't give a fuck about Tyson Fury or whoever. I don't care about none of these people personally. But Tyson Fury was saying, referencing Anthony Joshua as a bodybuilder and a model. You're a model, too. Because you got several fucking photos that you took posing for GQ magazine. So being a model it's not limited to being shirtless. Okay, they just don't want you. Nobody want to see you on the cover of a fucking magazine, fat, hairy motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? That's all that is. But yeah, if you sit there posing for photos for magazines, you're a model too, asshole. And I'm sitting here like, yo, do you hear the shit that people say? And people go along with it, but they don't stop to look at the reality. You calling somebody a model, but you're a model. You say one thing and do something completely different. You can't make your mind up, and people just cater to the bullshit. So, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to get this out. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. And I don't care about none of these fucking fights that's coming up. So, I'll be talking about other shit, but just really these fights, they suck. And I have no interest in them. Never fall in love with lies. Remember the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.